Hello, friends. This is John Clan III of episode 109 of Shadow and Flame of Magic, the podcast. Today we're going to review Avengers 4, Volume 4 that started in 2010, Issue 4. So let's get to it. And so this is tying into our Spider-Woman event this month in February. I was talking to my lovely wife, and it sounds like we are going to try to watch Madam Web. I made a good argument for it, and we haven't seen that movie yet this year, so might as well make that the first year, or first movie of the year. And I recognize this is the wrong Spider-Woman, so let's get this out of the way. The next Spider-Woman tie-in is also going to be that one, because as big of a fan of Julia Carpenter, the first Spider-Woman I came across, and showing Walker D the 90s Iron Man cartoon thanks to Disney Plus, I was like, oh man, this is just West Coast Avengers, but with a very emphasis on Iron Man. But apparently Julia Carpenter does not show up in any of my, you know, Cape Pride, Lockheed, or Magic collection. So, or as I like to call it, my Shadow and Flames Magic collection. So I got these Jessica Drew ones, and because I didn't want to get too deep into the wrong Spider-Woman, I just grabbed two. So this one is a Cricker one, and then the other one is a favorite one. So this is Avengers, that started in 2010, volume 4, issue 4. And I got the Woman of Marvel cover, variant cover with Spider-Woman looking amazing on it. And then back in was it 85? Whenever Marvel turned 25, they did a amazing border um profile cover, and it just had all the characters they had, or the main characters. And this one were treated to the ladies. And so I'm going to take a stab at this one. So from left around to the right is Bucky, the one Sean McKeever co-created. Valkyrie, Mary Jane, Elektra, Psylocke, the Ravage body, Storm, a lady who I suspect is from Heroes of Atlas, Agents of Atlas, Wasp, Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, Molly Hayes, Hellcat, May Parker, Spider-Woman, no, I'm sorry, Spider-Girl, Invisible Woman, the Women of Marvel Circle, Emma Frost. So it's nice that the two blondes are right next to each other. Kate Bishop, Nova, the Frankie one. Another lady from Agents of Atlas, Spider Woman, Jessica Drew, Pixie, Moondragon, my favorite, Kate Pride, Kitty Pride. You can tell because she's very long brunette hair, but also has the black and yellow X-Men training uniform, which once again, thankfully, she got that Red Queen outfit, so her cameo Queen era is much more easily distinguishable. Above her, Black Cat, so they put Shadow Cat right below Black Cat. You see where someone came up with that. And this looks like it's I don't know who did the VMMX with Justin Ponser's coloring, but I want to say it's Chung's border creation. Then it's Wanda, Scarlet Witch, Jean Grey in her Green Phoenix uniform, Mockingbird, Natasha, Black Widow, and Rogue. So a pretty elite group of ladies. X-Men gets one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So that seems pretty appropriate. Yeah, I remember buying this because I was like, well, I gotta get all the Women of Marvel variant covers for Kate Pride, and then also I was able to successfully own all the Marvel 25 ones. So they're just like going through my boxes. I'm always like, why do I have Cloak and Dagger? I'm like, oh, okay, because of the cover. But because this came out in 2010, this is variant covers everywhere that we're still in the midst of. These were not as easy to get, whereas the 25 ones were just the proper cover for the month, which must have looked amazing on racks. So this comic came out in... Oh shoot, it doesn't have that fine print. Is it in the back? Oh yeah, it is in the back. So Avengers number 4 came out in October 2010. So here's the recap page, because thankfully it comes with that. And there came a day, and now I'm like, oh hey, does it list variant covers? No, that's a later thing. Unlike any other, when Earth's mightiest heroes found themselves united against a common threat, on that day the Avengers were born to fight the foes no single superhero could withstand. The Avengers. And it's nice though, because this is well, writer Brian Michael Bendis. So he got to do New Avengers, and then he's doing the official team. Penciler John Romita Jr., inker Klaus Janson, so it looks amazing. Dean White, colorist, letters and production, VC's Corey Pettit, associate editor Lauren Sankovic, editor Tom Brevoort, editor-in-chief Joe Quesada, publisher Dan Buckley, Alan Fine, executive producer. And it says Romita Jr., Jansen, and White for cover art, but not the cover I'm looking at. The Avengers, Wolverine, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor, Captain America, Spider-Woman, Hawkeye are handpicked by Steve Rogers to lead the premier Avengers team. And this is going to get complicated. In the future, the children of the Avengers execute Immortus, the time-traveling terrorist once known as Kang the Conqueror. In the modern day, the younger version of Kang appears before the Avengers and warns them that in the future, their children have endangered the universe. So we're all Back to the Future vibes. 2 vibes. He gives the suspicious heroes coordinates and begs them to come save the world. In the future, an elder Hulk reveals himself to be behind Kang's mysterious actions. In the modern day, the Avengers ask Kree warrior Novar, the Protector, to join them and help build a time machine to do what they must do next. Tony Stark discovers that the time stream may have been broken. A time rift opens up in front of the Avengers and reveals the shocking sight of Apocalypse and his 4 horsemen. The Avengers briefly battle with Apocalypse before he's swept up in the time stream once more as the continuity of time starts to visibly break down. Half the Avengers time travel forward in time to stop the King from breaking the time stream, while the other Avengers stay behind to deal with the growing chaos that unfolds all around them. And the first time I read this, well, one, I was like, I don't care, I'm just buying this for the cover. But let me read the story and see what it is. And 4 issues into this new ongoing, and it's, I don't know, it just reads like a mess of like, what's going on? But we're just going to briefly go through it. So the future team is Iron Man, Captain America, who's Bucky Barnes, Wolverine, and the Protector. And they're in a cave. Wolverine smells that they're in Central Park. And then they look up. Tony tries to warn them, like, hey, we're going to see things that are going to break our minds. And then we see a giant Ultron, who looks like the Asgardian Destroyer. And he's fighting Kang. And then around everyone else is Silver Surfer, Vision, Volksrag, guy in glasses, Moondragon's here, Kesar, the boy one. Let's see, Cyclops made it, so that's cool. Oh yeah, this is a beautiful double page splash here. Things here, Doctor Doom's fighting, uh, Monica Rambeau's here, Hercules is here, Juggernaut, Carol's here, in her Warbird outfit, or Miss Marvel outfit. We get the recap page. There's a house ad talking about Black Widow 6, the Dwayne Sarisky, Manuel Garcia run. Do you think you know what it takes to be a super spy? Time to think again. Meanwhile, Washington Square Park right now. And then we see Killraven, who Spider-Man knows from a Marvel team-up. And behind him is Devil Dinosaur. And Killraven gives Spider-Man a big old hug. From his perspective, it's only been a couple weeks, but Spider-Man's like, it's been years, buddy. Spider-Man's like, he's a half-naked man with a sword riding a dinosaur. Of course you do. Because thanks to Marvel Team Up, he got to meet some cool people. especially a lot of people's first appearances, like Karma in Marvel Team Up 100. There's a giant explosion, and poor Devil Dinosaur is now dead, and his insides are on top of all the Avengers. And these Avengers are Hawkeye, Spider Man, Spider Woman, and Thor. And one of my favorite Thor runs of all time, besides Walt Simonson's legendary run, is the Dan Jurgens, John Romita Jr. run. And those are the two Thor runs I've read. So I read some Jason Aaron's that had Throg and Lockheed and the other pet Avengers. And so we get a great page splash and kill ravens from a future where the War of the Worlds happened. So these giant Martians attacking. Thor flies up to start dealing with them. Maria Hill's trying to get people to calm down. Hawkeye too. Some guy yells at Hawkeye, and Spider-Woman's like, it never works to tell people to calm down. So that's funny. So there's some levity, which is all I want in comics. Like, if you follow me on Twitter at JackalSII, you would see um, I'm trying to figure out from Kitty Pryde's Guardians days and Hastings closing to X-Men Gold in that Gold era. Like, I'm trying to put all these stories in my head. And the ones I really like I like the Matthew Rosenberg, Astonishing X-Men and Uncanny X-Men and Secret Warriors Volume 2 that had Magic as practically a co-star. And just like, all I want from my comics are pretty much, like big adventures, small adventures, but, tell a joke or two every so often. Like, there's no reason to be dark and grimy. I appreciate those stories naturally, but if I can say my perfect comic book, it'd be like characters I love, adventures that are enjoyable, and a little bit of humor sprinkled in, like sprinkle, sprinkle, baby. And so they look out. They've been in this building the whole time, and they're looking over and just seeing a bunch of people just fighting each other. And so Hawkeye's rule is, all right, hit anything that looks like it's hitting something that shouldn't be hitting. And it's like, well, all right, I guess that's a rule. Oh, yeah, and this is a double page splash, and I read it wrong. Where even though my eyes, there's a wide upper panel that covers the two, and then you go down, and then I went from Kill Raven to Hawkeye. I was like, dang it, clearly the right side has that little panel of Kill Raven's shoulder. Like John Romita Jr. did everything he could to get me to read it the way he wanted me to, but I didn't do it. Then Thor gets past the Martians, and he see Galactus is starting to build his machinery to destroy the world, the future. And so Bucky Cap is about to take the shot, but Wolverine's like, hey man, don't do that. We don't know what this is going to do. And Iron Man's like, listen, if Wolverine's the voice of reason against violence, then let's take it serious. And they're talking about how, like, we don't know what we're going to do. We're just here as witnesses. Like, what are we supposed to do? And then Wolverine gets knocked out. He smells something familiar. And, well, I should say John Romita Jr. also has a great Mark Millar, what is it, Enemy of the State with, and then Agent of Hydra, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. with John Romita and that Jr. And that looked amazing as well. I don't know, I miss a John Romita Jr. comic. And it was amazing he got to do a proper Avengers run too, because usually he's doing like street level guys or solo books, or a great run on X-Men that with the legend Dan Green that followed the Paul Smith Bob Wyatt era that I adore. So reading back issues is like you went from beautiful Paul Smith artwork to like gritty John Romita Jr. Well, I should also say early John Romita Jr. work, and it's like, oh man, this isn't necessarily what I would love. But like in the '90s, like I was a '90s Spider-Man guy, so like John Romita, like that's a Spider-Man to me. Like my love of Spider-Man artists, like Sal Buscema number one, like forever. Whenever someone starts talking about Spider-Man around me, In my mind's eye, I picture Sal Buscema Spider-Man. And then John Romita Jr. and then Mark Bagley. Like, it's just like those. That's my Mount Rushmore. I should have said my top three. Now I'm like Mount Rushmore. Who's my fourth one? And then I was about to say Mark Bagley again. So, oh, you know what? I mean, I probably should think about it a little harder. But like Mike Ringo was super fun and brought that fun energy. So I'll probably go him. Yeah. So there. So then our Avengers get knocked out. We see the shadow of the kids clearly. Oh no, we get a clear panel of them, and these are the kids from that direct to DVD. What do they call it? Junior Avengers of Avengers Next. But it's those characters. Okay, we got a house ad for Fantastic Four 583, September 2010. Hickman and Epting. And this is back when they were hinting at one of the Fantastic Four were going to die, and this one's Reed, Thing, and Johnny, all with threes on their chests, or belt buckles for Grim. But it's Johnny who dies, so we've been lying. Wolverine's the first one to wake up. We see Maestro, who's the future Hulk, and he's super happy to see Wolverine, gives him a big old hug. So instead of an evil Maestro, which, I don't know, is Maestro inherently an evil term? Maybe not. But maybe cool. Maybe take a pause. And Maestro's like, hey, yeah, we needed you here because of him. And they're like, who? Who sent you? And we see future Tony Stark in a retro, like Iron Man Mach 1 gray suit, but bigger. And he's like, I needed you here. There's a house ad for Incredible Hulks, issue 612 by Pack, Reed, Rainey, and Ching. Beware the Dark Sun, which is an era of Hulk I don't know. And Maestro grabs young present day Tony, and future Tony knocks him out, but not futurist Tony. Future Tony. And then Maestro rips off present day Tony's face mask. We see future Tony with his like a knife coming out, is a scalpel coming out, so who knows? And then my thumb earlier covered to be continued. So also next thing I know I got all these text pages. I'm like, well, I guess that's how it ends, but that is how it ends. And in the back is a fun Avengers Assembly, the oral history of the Earth's mightiest heroes by Brian Michael Bendis. This is chapter 6. When the Avengers officially assemble in the eyes of the public, the heroes soon discover exactly what was meant to both their professional and personal lives. Which at the time I remember thinking, if they made this into a book with all the text pages, like I'll buy that book. And so it's as if Bendis is the writer in universe. He interviews Hank Pym, Tony Stark, Janet Van Dyne, Captain America. We got a great Scott Collins and Will Quinata picture of Hank holding Wasp not being knocked out. Thor, founding member. See here. Rick Jones, Avengers sidekick, which I'm sure he appreciates. Clint Barton, Hawkeye, Avenger. Next to Captain America said Avenger, which I'm like, alright. We get another page of Scott Collins and Edgar DeGardo, Hawkeye, which I'm pretty sure I've seen on a cover. Spider-Man shows up. Namor, the Atlantean royalty. The two superpowered people who did decide the next chapter of their lives could be as Avengers would be the most unlikely pair one could ever imagine. Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, better known as the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, were known the world over as members of the mutant terrorist organization known as the Brotherhood. They had decided their only chance at redemption was in the hands of the founding Avengers. To be continued New Avengers 4, which would be volume 2 probably. And that was just 8 pages of text. Well, I guess 6, because 2 of them are just giant splash pages. And next, Battle for the Future. And then there's New Avengers 3, where Wolverine's freaking out with Doctor Strange and Iron Fist behind him. Yeah, it's on. Secret Avengers 4 with Steve Rogers' Human Rocket. And Avengers Academy 3, Scared Straight with the T-Bolts. Email us at mheroes@marvel.com. And the back cover ad is just Women of Marvel. And that, everyone, oh, we did 20 minutes on it, so that's pretty fun, was Avengers Volume 4 that started in 2010, Issue 4. So let's see what Marvel comics are on sale this week. Okay. So X-Men 31, which has Nimrod being attacked by Miss Marvel, Nightcrawler, Logan, and Shadowcase. So finally, we're back in to the good stuff, which has a variant cover of X-Men 97, um, and also an Emma Frost trading card. Oh, there's also a X-Men 31 variant with Shadowcase on it with Logan. Oh, Lockheed's in that one. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to get that on Wednesday. Kurt and Miss Marvel. Is Lockheed on the other one? No. Well, might as well get the one. This one looks very gritty. Venom 30 comes out. No one cares. Fantastic Four 17. So many variant covers. Oh, there's like a 90s Invisible Woman outfit variant cover. Doctor Strange 12. Hey, one of these has the dogs. His ghost dog, Lockjaw, and Pizza Dog. Avengers 10, no one cares about. Captain America 6. I said the quiet part aloud. There's a Star Wars Sensational She-Hulk 5. Daredevil Gang War 3. Alien 4. Thanos 3. Wolverine Matterport Nights 1, which I learned about recently, is Claremont's origin or sequel to the Captain America Black Widow story that Jim Lee did. But Claremont Comics, so that's great. Ultimate Black Panther 1. So Ultimate X-Men should be coming out soon. More Star Wars. Okay. Well, I'm going to get one comic for sure, and that is going to be X-Men 31. And then I'll go on eBay and buy me that sweet Lockheed cover. And then I had my mother asked me for my birthday what I wanted, and so I asked for the last issue or trade of Marauders, Volume 1, um, Trade 4. And then looking at the back of the covers, I'm like, oh man, there's so many Lockheed variant covers that he was on. And now I sort of, I don't know, resisting the urge of writing all of them down to get them. But, because they're going to be expensive, and why put a bunch of comics on a list I'm never going to buy. But maybe if I put a variant cover section, which, I don't know, it's just silly to do, um, but there were so many covers that I'm like legit like, oh man, I sort of want at least 6 of these. So then it's like, well, might as well make a list of all 20, but put like stars next to them. I don't know. I'll think about it. But there was a lot by like issue 6. I was like, well, I think I want 6 of the 6. So, terrific. But I'm waiting for Mile High Comics to send out their new code word sale because for my birthday, my wife made a fun little gift card permission slip of like, yeah, you can buy some back issues. So I'm like, fantastic, thank you. And the current code word is for like mostly new comics, so I'm like, hopefully the February code word is awesome. If not, I will see if I can wait one extra month. But that, everyone, was the Avengers. You can follow me on Twitter. I promoted. Oh, I did round 1 of my X-Men AO no XAX tournament. I appreciate everyone who's been watching that. I know there's always a moment where I post it like pretty much first thing I wake up on Saturday, post the video, and then check back on it like a nerd. Like an hour later, it gets 4 views. Sort of like check on it once or twice more, and then like after dinner, check it again. It was like at 114 views, and I was like, "This is amazing! People are watching it. I love this so much." So thank you everyone for watching it. The next round is going to be Cyclops versus Magneto. And I sort of have an idea how I want to do it. So I'm excited about that. And so that'd be on my YouTube channel, Jacko SII. You can follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter at SNFWM and spelt out. There's nothing really to promote image-wise from this issue, but the next one definitely will. So ideally, we'll have an X-Men 31 issue later this week. And then after that, the final Spider-Woman one, and then hopefully Man Web episode sometime this month. And then I'll get Walker D for that one. As those are fun, and it's been a while since he's been on the podcast, so probably because we didn't watch Aquaman in December. Um, just missed it. Or I had the thought and then was like, well, it's December and we don't necessarily need to watch it. But man, when I miss Morbius, still haven't watched it. You know, I imagine if it streams somewhere and it's easy to watch, I'll watch it. But Madam Web, at least, it has Julia Carpenter. It has some like four spider ladies having some fun. Like it's gonna be fun, right? Time will tell. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for listening. If you ask a friend to listen, we're trying to make the podcast grow, and I'll chat at you next time. All right, everyone. Bye.